have to stay closer to the mic and talk loud, but I'll do what I can without knocking this over. And I'll go ahead and warn you, I'm not as good a speaker as Chief George. Maybe I'm the poor man's Chief George, but we'll do the best we got. All right. When you're directing traffic, it's going to be important to make sure that you got the proper tools. I know you all have the reflective vest, gloves, flashlight with traffic cone, or whatever y'all have. That what do y'all use? Are they traffic cones?
We have traffic cones.
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
We've got the little flashing ones too.
Yeah, anything like that, you want to make sure you've got that to be visible, daylight and nighttime hours. Some things that people don't think about is a hat. If you're going to be out directing traffic during the day, you don't know how long you're going to be there, how bright the sun is going to be. So make sure you got your hat, sunglasses, anything like that. Those cars coming by, the sun hitting off their windshields, you don't want to get blinded and start directing people into each other.
Or into you.
Yeah, or into you. Make sure that you have the clothing that's proper for the season. If it's cold, make sure you got jackets. And if it's warm, make sure you got a short sleeve shirt. Something that's going to keep you comfortable out there for an extended amount of time. Rain gear. Make sure you've got that available. You never know, especially during the summer, you get those pop-up showers and you get soaking wet. So make sure you got rain gear available. A whistle, if you're one of the whistle people for directing traffic. I'm not, but some people are. And traffic cones. Do y'all carry traffic cones in your vehicles? Yes. Yeah. Just make sure you've got traffic cones so you can direct traffic where you need it to when you're directing. If you've got 4 lanes you're trying to cover, you can direct it down to 2 lanes so it's easier for you to manage. So make sure you've got the traffic cones also. When you're directing traffic, it's going to be important to be in the right position so that you're visible to everybody. So you want to make sure that you're going to stand in the middle of the road when you're directing traffic. I know you want to be standing parallel with the traffic movement to make you thinner. If you're like me, it's not going to matter. Turn this way, it's the same thing. But in theory, you want to be as thin as you can, directing traffic in front and behind you, keeping your eyes constantly moving, because if you've been out directing traffic before, people don't pay attention. Always have your reflective vest on, your gloves. Do y'all have like standard gloves that you issue?
I'm going to say I'm not sure on that one. I think we do.
I know the gloves that we use, the ones that we use at the sheriff's office, we will have a yellow vest, and the gloves that on the palm of them have all the reflective. Is that what y'all have? If not, and you want to buy gloves, make sure that you've got the reflective on the palm. It helps, especially at night. They understand that this is stop, and when it goes away, that it can that it means move. But you're going to make sure that you can see all the people coming at you from both ways. If you're in a 4-way stop, that's where you're going to get a lot more tricky. I mean, if you're just directing traffic, I'm trying to think where y'all direct out. Like when you have a 5K run, out there, if you're directing coming out of Twin Oaks,
Yeah.
If you're working an intersection like that, it's not that bad. You're keeping people moving. If you're in a 4-way intersection, you're going to have to pay attention, 360 degrees. But and I know sometimes, like at the first year, y'all direct traffic at the schools, helping people across the street. And when you're directing, helping pedestrians, you can stay in the middle. I don't recommend it, especially right there where you just got the one road you're stopping, because the less time you can stand in the middle of the road, the better. Walk off the roadway, stand to the side, let your kids bunch up, and then slowly move out to direct traffic and let the kids across. So remember that when you're directing traffic, you're in charge. So whatever you say that's like a better term, the law. If you're stopping them, make sure that they understand by your body language that you're stopping them. You go out there, have good posture and military, something like that. You don't want to confuse the drivers, start using all kinds of crazy hand signals. So when you get ready to stop traffic, if you're wanting to stop people coming from your right, look at them and point directly at the car you want to stop. If there's 8 cars in a row and you want to stop the 6th one, you make sure you look at them and start pointing early before they get to you and letting them know. And that lets the people in front of them know that, hey, you know, they're not pointing at me. And watch that car until it stops completely. And then I'll turn my attention to the cars over here. Pick out the 3rd car or whatever. Point at them and stop. And I know some people get frustrated when they're trying to drive through traffic that we're taking too long because I'm making sure this line stopped and then this line, but you know, they can get mad all they want. We've got to make sure everybody's safe. So get both cars stopped.
That's me. Okay, we'll try it.
When you stop them, make sure it's a clear defined motion. Stop, stop, stop. Once they get stopped, turn to the other one. When you get ready to move traffic again, you want to stay in line. You know, if you're bringing them from a 4-way stop, you're going to turn. You're going to point at the people you want to move and start directing them. Then the other way. If you're bringing them front and back, here we go. Here we go. That way you can get them moving. 4-way stop, you're going to turn a quarter turn to direct them this way. Stop, start them the same way. When you start using a whistle, and I'm jumping around, but if you decide to use a whistle, one long blast is the stop sign. So you're holding your hand up, one long whistle blast. Whenever you get ready to move traffic again, it's 2 short blasts. So that's kind of the universal signal for moving traffic. Don't decide that you're going to come up with your own way. People get confused. Some things to keep in mind is when you're directing traffic, if I'm directing traffic at this intersection and there's another person directing traffic, you know, 300 yards down the road, make sure you're on the same page, that you're communicating with each other, that you're looking at the traffic flow as it's moving. If you see that they're stopping people, don't keep sending your people. Make sure that if you're, I know y'all have Southern Links, any type of, yeah. So you can communicate with radio, hey, I'm sending mine, hey, I'm stopping mine, or just pay attention. It may be that it's not another person that's at the other end of it. It may be that there's a red light. So keep an eye on the red light. If it turns red, go ahead and start holding your people up so that it doesn't, you're not just directing them and blocking your intersection. Which is another thing, you don't ever want to have your intersection blocked. If you see that they're backing up, go ahead and stop this car so your intersection is open and start bleeding your other people out. If they're coming out and the red light is on this end, go ahead and bring all the people out turning left. So that brings us to when you're directing people off a side street to turn. The way I always handle it is once I get the main road stopped, I'll look at these people and I'll bleed all of them out. You turning right, turning left, going straight, whatever the case may be. Then I hold up this travel direction, make the turn, and direct the next group. I've seen some officers get all crazy and start trying to direct this person to turn here and this person to turn here, and it just, I tense up every time I see it because you're just waiting on somebody to get plowed into. So only manage what you can manage. You know, you're in control, slow it down, move things as you need it to move. You don't want to get overwhelmed out there and start directing people into each other because it can get scary when you got cars driving by you. Make sure that, and we have this all the time, if I'm directing traffic, main road right here, and there's a turn lane, and these people want to turn left, make sure that they know that you're directing them, that you're giving them the, you're not turning until I tell you to, because inevitably you're going to have somebody that decides they're just going to go when it's clear. You know, like these red lights we got that are, you know, you can turn left on green. People make bad decisions, and it's going to wind up with you having a wreck in your intersection and having to direct more traffic around that. Always, the priority of movement is for the the main road, the most heavily traveled road. So if you're directing on, we'll say, 39, and you got the subdivisions coming out, 39 has precedence. You want to move that one as much as you can. Let the cars stack up coming off the side roads, you know, until you get to, you know, 5, 10, whatever you think is a reasonable amount to back up, and then move them. But let your main roads move more freely, because they're going to have more traffic. And once you mess up that first time directing off those main roads, the whole rest of the time you're there is going to be trouble. So always give precedence to the main roads. Protecting pedestrians, especially like the ones y'all do at the schools. Make sure that they're your priority. You got the traffic stop, get your kids across. And this one is kind of a no-brainer. If you're directing traffic and you see an ambulance coming with lights and siren, or a police car, stop everybody. I mean, that gives them, it's easier for them to go around and do what they need to do, but always get them through. I mean, I would hope that's common sense. So, other factors to consider, and then we'll do questions, because I know that I've missed something here. But if you're going to be out for a long time, make sure y'all have a relief plan. You know, if there's 3 of you that were in a car and something happened, you start directing traffic, that y'all rotate. You don't want anybody to stand out there and end up directing traffic for 2 hours. And another thing that we preach at the sheriff's office, always have like bottled water, maybe some crackers or something in your car, because you never know when, hey, I'm going to run by the gas station or run to McDonald's and get something, and a call comes out and you're stuck there for 12 hours of your shift. So always have something in your car with you. You know, bottled water, crackers. You know, if you're diabetic or having medication you need to take them with you when you go out to patrol, because you never know if you're going to be able to get home to get them. And so I'm sure you can get one of your friends to go do it for you, but it'd be nice if you just had it for yourself. All right, I know I've missed something, so let's go for it. What's that?
Escape route.
Escape route? Yeah, make sure that you always know what you're going to do when that person comes in barreling at you. And a lot of that's just, you know you're going to get out of the road. That's easy enough. But when you're directing traffic, don't stand there with your knees locked, not paying attention. Stay on the balls of your feet so you can move. I mean, I'm always, when I'm directing traffic, one's because I'm nervous. But you know, just kind of, I'll be bouncing around. Looks like I'm dancing almost. It goes back to playing baseball. You got to stay on the balls of your feet, baseball ready. Just so you can move quickly when you realize that, hey, this person has no clue they're about to run me over.
One question. The church that we go to on 119, there's a sheriff's deputy that helps with traffic control. And I have noticed when he sets up, he will put his patrol car in the middle of 119. But then he will put cones in each lane when he stops the through traffic on 119. I don't always see that, and I was just wondering if that's just something that that particular deputy is doing, or if that's something you recommend or don't recommend.
So as he stops traffic, he puts cones out in front of him?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he's onto something. It'll be in the class next year.
I don't know.
But I've never.
Okay, that's why I asked, because I thought I had never seen that.
I mean, it's going to stop them, but it's also going to create a lot more time for you to go and move them.
It does, yes.
To get traffic moving again.
Okay.
Anybody? I know you got one.
One thing that we were taught early on was when you're directing, use exaggerated movement.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Because they don't know what you're talking about.
it's not with your wrist. It's a point. I mean, a long movement.
So the more pronounced the movement, the better they can understand.
Right. So they don't think, is he waving at me? Is he doing like, yeah? You're going to use long, pronounced movements as you're directing traffic, and point out. I mean,
And if
that's
it's
the way I
not,
do
use
it. You
flashlight
point right at
right
him. Mr. Cooley, you're stopping. You right there. I got you.
I got that figured
Yeah.
out.
Look at make eye contact with them so that you know that they saw you. And,
Try not to lose your temper
try.
and kick the side of their car when they go by.
That probably was a long time ago. What, anybody else got anything? Like I said, I know I've missed something.
And if a certain lady is trying to push you out of the way, Gail,
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, watch for that.
And I know, yes, sir.
Well, we always have a certain number of people that recognize the fact that we're not policemen,
Right.
and they don't feel, they don't like our instructions, they don't feel they have to follow them. You know, I mean, we're directing traffic, let's say at Halloween. I know Joe was about 100 feet down, and he's got kids in the crosswalk, and I'm trying to stop traffic. And you have a guy in a truck pull up to you, stop, and then just step on the gas and make directly for Joe. And I'd be up there screaming and yelling at him to stop. What's our recourse?
Yeah.
scissors arrest.
That's, I mean, technically, law enforcement is the only ones that can really stop traffic on state or county roads and all. It's just kind of a common sense thing. I know that I've been out, I think it was Miss Powers a couple of years ago on the 5K run they did at the.
That was fun.
Oh yeah, when you start shutting down 39 for, what was it, an hour?
We heard a lot of language.
Yeah, and so, I mean, when they would start getting on her, she would just point, y'all need to talk to him. So we would handle it. And of course, then they're calling to talk to the supervisor, so I'm talking to them again. But, so that's just,
Why he brought up Halloween, let me just ask you something. If the COPs decided to stop handling Halloween night at Yellow Leaf, what would happen?
it'd be really dangerous.
It's dangerous with us there, especially this past, we worked in the rain
Right.
for 2.5 hours. I mean, soaking wet rain, so there was nothing dry on us inside or out, till I finally called it about 7:15. But the weather was so bad that night that they couldn't even see us. I mean, they actually would just come through, and you would know they didn't see you. They weren't being ugly to us.
Right.
And I almost made the decision there to suggest maybe we just, there's no lighting there. There's not enough lighting to handle
Right.
Halloween there anymore.
I think part of the problem, well, not part, but the main problem what you're talking about, Lynn and I are also on the board with Governor, and what I'm going to strongly urge you on this coming season is that we positively get supplemental lighting up there, some pole lights.
That's what we needed. If we had pole light, we would even be safer. It was bad this year. It was real bad this year because of the weather. And they never stopped coming. Pouring down rain and they kept coming.
And not only that, they didn't wear reflective uniforms or costumes. The parents nor the kids had a flashlight or anything that was reflective.
Well, I'll tell you what I do. You know, do y'all have the reflective raincoats also?
We do.
We do.
Have that on, and then my flashlight that I carry has the strobe function on it. And when I'm not directing traffic, that strobe's going. If nothing else, so they know you're there. You know, your traffic cone, it can blend in. It may look like somebody's tail lights or, you know, some parking lights off the vehicle, but you've got that flashing light going. I know they even sell little strobes that you can put on a pocket for you. Just, I mean, that may be something to look into doing for nights.
Yeah, we
Just-
have a couple of green ones that do that.
It doesn't slow down there from 5 o'clock to 8 or after. It never slows down. We have them in bunches of 10 to 20 people at one time, constantly.
And I'd love to say that, you know, the sheriff's office could get over there and all, but, I mean, we're thankful to y'all for what y'all do so much, because y'all, I know you hear it a lot, the eyes and ears for us.
You know.
I wish we could.
I just wonder how they would handle it if they, because they've reached the pattern where they know that that's where they're supposed to park and they just automatically do it, but then getting them across the street is dangerous with no lighting there.
Right, and if I'm trying to think, if you had advance notice, like, I think this year you knew it was going to be raining on Halloween.
Yeah.
If the COPs wanted to let them know, hey, we're not going to be able to do it this year or whatever, then the homeowner association could look into maybe hiring an off-duty deputy to direct traffic there.
One couldn't.
Yeah, they could.
handle it for 6 or 8.
Yeah, I mean, but that gets expensive
Yeah.
because,
It's not only Yellow Leaf, they're busing them in or driving them in from elsewhere, so why should Yellow Leaf be the ones to
Yeah.
right,
provide the...
You're talking about 800 to 1,000
Yeah, it's
Right.
capital.
to go through there.
because, I mean, I know on night shift right now, we have 10 deputies working the county. In the past, they may have, the reserves will come out and work, 6 or 8 more, but they have to ride 2 to a car, so 3 to 4 more cars countywide. I wish we could be everywhere we needed to be. That's why I'm thankful. I was thinking,
Just a light, just light.
All we're asking
We
for
need
is
lights
just
there.
a light.
like, just to make it
Just
visible.
a light, yes. I think that's a reasonable, simple thing to ask for.
That's something the city's gonna have to pay for,
Yeah.
because only a homeowners association barely has enough money to survive, much less, try to put lighting out there. That's why we have all the reflective gear and the flashlights. I know Dale used to bring out a telescoping, halogen light, and I had that out a couple, last year or year before.
Not last year, before, yeah.
Check.
Last
But,
year they didn't see us.
you know, it's up to us.
Did that work pretty well, Mr.
It was
Newell?
better, it was better. The weather just made it so much worse, and we really thought that they would quit coming. but they-
Check with the fire department. I know that they have lights like that available. They may, you know, in a situation like that, set them out for you and make them more visible.
Yeah, I think some kind of advanced sign, you know, a block away or something, that would somehow warn people that trick-or-treaters are ahead, slow down. Because, as someone mentioned here, the drivers cannot see the rain on the windshield and that type. It really interferes with the visibility of us out on the road or with us with our flashlights. That was really an unsafe night for the C.O.P.
Yeah.
We were not able to get the light tree out there this past Halloween because it had some problems. Those problems have been fixed now. And that light tree, when it has all 4 poles on it, it's up in the air about 30 feet. And it has 4,000 watts of light going out there. Yeah. Each one of the 8 lights is 500 watt halogen. So it really does light it up. You can adjust them any way you want to, but you have to have a generator to run it. So I've done that several times in the past, and now that the lights are working again, we'll have those available to use in the future. And so they should help quite a bit. We also have in the C.O.P. office at City Hall, we've got a light kit that has reflective triangles in it, and it also has strobe lights in it and lights that we can put out as we approach an intersection. They're battery operated, so we got to make sure the batteries are good. But if they are, then that gives us some additional warning for traffic before they get to the intersection.
The only thing in my experience, like with the strobes, putting them out like a flare type system, is you want to make sure that you're not taking away from the visibility of the officer. Because I mean, you know, when you're driving and you see something on the road, you start looking at that instead of, but yeah, anything to just bring more visibility. I like the light tree.
And at any one time, at Yellow Leaf on Highway, there's 5 or 6 people actively involved. And a support group.
Do y'all just do the intersection right there, or are you actually in the
We
subdivision
put
also?
some down further from the school to slow them down because they're coming through pretty fast. So we let them know ahead of time before they get to crossing. And we hold them and bunch them till they get 10 to 15 or 20, just depending on how many are going in and targeting, and take them across at one time.
The drivers just couldn't see us.
Right.
The weather was just so bad.
The Yellow Leaf people really helped us.
And now do y'all's patrol cars still have the spotlight on them, or has that been removed?
No, we don't.
Okay, I was gonna say, if you got the spotlights, you know, we'll do that if we're directing out in the middle of, you know, the road and it's dark. Turn that spotlight, at least on the ground by us, because I mean, it'll light up a little bit of an area, but if you don't have them, then you don't want to spend the money there. That is expensive.
Yeah, we could easily get the handheld spotlights that just plug in to the cigarette lighter. So those are available that we could get.
Yeah, and do y'all have takedowns on your light bars?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can turn those on to try and light you up better. But they're only so good. Because I think y'all still got the halogen. takedowns are not the LEDs?
Let's see, I'm trying to think, the old ones are halogen, the new ones, I'm not sure, the new light bars.
LEDs. I think they're LED.
Those are LEDs.
And I mean, those will burn your eyeballs out, they're so bright, so that may help out.
But we've got the newer ones on two of the cars, the other ones are the older version.
Any other questions? Anything that, I mean, maybe that's what you'd like to know?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Cody, appreciate it.